Hey guys, me, it's Dr. M. I want to go over some information that's going to be great. I love it. It's easy to understand. It's for fatigue because so many people suffer from fatigue, and it's called your GSSTM. It's an acronym, GSSTM. Okay, so many people suffer from fatigue. You know if you're suffering from fatigue if you're going to Starbucks all the time, you're getting coffees all the time, you're yawning at the work, you're not moving very quickly, you almost look like you're depressed sometimes, you're probably suffering from fatigue. So the first thing you got to know, if your labs are good, a lot of times when people's labs are good, they're having issues with their gut. And so if you're having issues with your gut, that means gut inflammation. You know, you might look at your stomach and it looks like, wow, I look a little bloated. That could be an indication that you're not fat. You could be having inflammation. And so a lot of cases when people have a lot of inflammation, sometimes there's things that they have food sensitivities that has to be addressed. Other times, even though the labs are good, they could be having issues with food combinations of foods that they're eating incorrectly that are not good for them. Other times, they could be having hidden pathologies and viruses and toxicity that's not good. Other times, they could just be eating the wrong foods. You know, let's just face it. If you're eating a lot of sugar, a lot of breads, a lot of pastas, you're going to be tired. Okay, so address the underlying cause is going to be the issue. The next part of the GSSTM is your stress level. We all have stress, but you're going to have to figure out a way to help decrease it or figure out a way to help manage your stress. Because if you're stressed, guess what? Cortisol level is going to go through the roof. That's not going to be good for you because that's going to create inflammation, cause more problems in your gut. But the other problem with that is it's going to affect the hormones inside your body. You don't want to do that. The other part with that, with the stress level, eventually when cortisol goes up too high, eventually it starts crashing. You get burned out. Your adrenals actually get burned out. When they're burned out, the lowest part of cortisol, you're at its lowest, is when people die. And so don't get adrenal exhaustion. Make sure that you figure out a way to handle the stress. If you can't do that, go find somebody that can help you deal with the stress that you're having. The other part with that said is that we got the GSS. The second part of the S is sleep apnea. Be careful, guys. A lot of times people don't look like they got sleep apnea. I mean, they're thin. Their doctors never will in a million years think they would have it, but the reality is that they do have it. And so the only way to know is to be tested for it. But sleep apnea is oftentimes missed. And sleep apnea, if you're having sleep apnea, you know, that's a risk factor for developing cardiovascular disease, you know, high blood pressure, and a lot of other health problems. So if you have that, you're probably going to have to get that addressed, especially if you're waking up tired in the morning and nothing else is working. You might want to be on the safe side and get that tested. Okay, the last part is your thyroid. The T stands for your thyroid. A lot of times lab is good, but people have what's called subclinical hypothyroidism, which that means is that their labs are okay, but their thyroid is not working the way it should be. And so they're not only having issues with fatigue, but weight gain and other problems. So sometimes there's some natural things a person can do to help make that thyroid work a little bit better and faster. The last part of that is the GSSTM is the movement. If I'm sitting on a computer all day long, I'm not moving. Eventually my blood's not moving. My nerves aren't moving. I'm going to be tired. So if you're sitting around all day long, you better even wiggle your feet or do something, move your arms, be like a crazy person or something, but get some movement going on because you're going to have to move to get that blood going and for you to get more energy. And especially if you got a desk job all day long, you're going to have to exercise. You got to figure out a way to do something. Well, doc, my body hurts, my back hurts, my neck hurts. Then go see somebody to help with that. Well, they didn't help. Well, you know what? If your shoulder hurts on this side, you got movement on this side. You got to do something. Just having pain is no excuse for not doing anything. You got to do something. I don't care if it's your toe, but you got to do some kind of exercise on a daily basis. And don't lock yourself into thinking that exercise has to be in for an hour. I don't do that in an hour. Sometimes I'll just work out 10 minutes, but I'm going to do it with a high intensity, low interval, high intensity and short duration type of stuff to surge my hormones inside my body naturally. And so there's a lot of things you can do, but you got bottom line, you got to move. Okay, you got to move. So if you are suffering with fatigue, don't cover it up with just drinking stuff all day long and energy drinks. You obviously know innately that that's not going to be good for you. You're going to have to do what I'm telling you to do. You're going to have to address your gut and get the right foods in, the right nutrients in, decrease the inflammation. You're going to have to do the S, decrease the stress level. You're going to have to issue these with a sleep apnea. You're going to have to address that. You're going to have to address your thyroid, and then you're going to have to address the movement. You do all those things, you're going to feel better. You're going to be smiling. You're going to be happy, and you're going to be more fun to be around with. And you might even be able to stick around and watch more of my videos because you know what? You feel better. You stayed awake. And so I commend you if you stayed awake through this process. GSSTM, you got to know it. And hey, if you're still having a problem, I'm just one phone call away at 630-443-4411. I really do, guys, wish you the best. And I want you to have good vitality and energy because I really do. Even though you don't know me, I care about you. All right, guys, take care.